Okay, Bloody Steppes of the Crimea, 1854. We're going to pick up with our little demo, division against division, on a part of the Balaclava battlefield. We're going to be looking at a little bit of line of sight and then get some artillery fire in, because in this, well, I guess that's kind of not surprisingly, artillery fire is executed separately or differently than infantry fire. So first, the very basics about line of sight. A lot of it's basic, but here we have the artillery up here. It is 1, 2, 3 levels above all these Russian units down here. So first, I would like the artillery to be able to fire at the cavalry here. So let's start. Can they look down the heights and see this unit, or is this unit blocked from sight in dead space? So we have all the obvious stuff. There is no terrain type like orchards or whatever blocking. It's all clear terrain between here. It's just elevations that we're concerned about. So that's that. So the next question is different. Visibility does not exist if there is difference in levels between the viewer and the target hex containing the edge level is okay. Okay, I think I know what's intended here. So I draw my line, and what we're concerned about, I think, is hex 1114, right? 1114's right here. So what it means is, I think what's meant here, despite the languages, visibility does not exist. There is no line of sight. All right, these are my words. There is no line of sight if there's a difference in elevation between the viewer and the target, and the hex containing the edge level. I think, despite the wording, I think they mean this one. The hex containing, I guess you could say, the hex containing the elevation change, which I guess you could say, looking at that difference there, that picture right there, 1114 is the hex with, as they say, the edge level, but the change in elevation. And this hex, 1114, is closer to the target. It is closer to the target if the viewer is higher. Yeah, the viewer is higher. So I think this is in dead space. And then we have the change of, because there's another level here. I mean, that would be if this were the case here. But we have several levels of elevation difference. So if the difference in levels between the viewer and the target is greater than 1, it is greater than 1, it's 3, right? When checking visibility for each additional level, move the hex blocking towards the viewer if he is lower, or towards the target if he is higher. So he's higher. Does that make sense? That almost I'm sure it's right, but the difference in levels, move the blocking hex in 1114 in this case towards the viewer if he is lower, towards the target if the target is higher. All right, I'm just going to go with my understanding here, and then later on I'll see if I need to amend this. So this is the last blocking hex. The last blocking hex from the higher observer to the lower target. But there's 3 levels of difference. Each additional level, so I guess that means 2. So what it means is the language or the idea it has is you move this hex towards, in this case, towards the viewer because he's higher. He's higher, so he's able to look down better into the dead space. So because it's 1, 2 additional levels above 1, I think. If the different levels between the views is greater than 1, okay, I think it is that. You move 114 to, again, this is the idea, how they express it, 1, 2. And then if 114 was here, it would not block line of sight because it's not closer to the lower unit or target unit. So I think that the artillery has line of sight to the artillery here, and I'm going to play it that way. The only thing I'm not entirely certain, well, I think that that's right. What I'm not certain about is whether this hex of the same height does anything to the line of sight. That I don't know. I'll just go ahead and play this. So we're going to do artillery fire here. Okay, so first of all, artillery fire is done unless indicated otherwise, like infantry fire. But we have our own artillery charts. We have 2 charts. This is for artillery fire at 1 hex and artillery fire at 2 hexes and further. So we are at 2 hexes and further. Oh, now I need to figure out what the actual range is, but I think it's 1, 2, 3. I think it is within range. Okay, so obviously this British artillery unit has 3 fire values separated by slashes. It has -2, which again is better, /+2, /+3. I do think, I'm going to double check this, I do think these are basically range bands. First, second, and third range bands. I think they're 2 hexes apiece. Actually, they are. So I think that we're using the +3 fire modifier for that range, right? Because it'd be -2, -2, +2, +2, +3, +3. So I do think it's +3 at the longest. So we're here, modified D, so it's by morale of the artillery as well. So again, morale is the 7 in the red circle there. That's the morale of the artillery unit there. 7, so it's 7. So I do think that we are, okay, 7, not so good. Oh, not so good at all. Roll ready. Okay, I'll go through order here though. Train effects, it's in the clear. I don't think it's anything. Target formation, they're in skirmish formation. 1 unit only. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's already +3. Firing after movement, no. Firing at cavalry, yeah. -2. Okay, so 4. Well, I'll go in order actually. So we're now at +1. +1, and then we got modifier on the counter +3, so it's 4. Yeah, this is Lycorn, 2 hexes, diamond, no. Modifier for concentration, Russia only. For second and third battery counter, no. Modifier for artillery reserve command, no. For artillery reserve commander, target facing, modifier, no. They're in skirmish, which means that they're all front hexes all the way around. So it's +4. So 7 + 4, 11. So it's well off the chart, no effect. And it looks like the 2 numbers separated by slash. You so want to say that this is attacker and defender results. It's not. It's the you have losses of strength points and you have losses of movement points, which I think is a fascinating concept, but at least fascinating idea. So that was no effect. Now I'm going to do this other artillery fire. All right, this should be better. Here's the other British artillery unit. It also is on a knoll there, so it also is 2 levels I shouldn't say also. I should say it's 2 levels above. This friendly unit would block line of sight, except that it's basically this is considered 1 hex closer. So this unit's looking over both the terrain there, the elevation, and the friendly unit. They rolled a 4. The modifiers are very similar, except what was I at? 3, 1, 3, I think. So they rolled a 4, possibly a 7, and a morale of 7. Oh, okay. Nope, they just missed it. 7 morale, roll of 7. Actually, they did just miss it as well.